The next thing that we're going to get into is using stick mobility to train shoulder flexion. So let's start off with a quick, easy assessment. We want to be somewhere around your end range where you're able to get overhead and not bend your elbow or let your ribs flare. So we want to be able to get pretty far back ideally, especially if you're doing overhead movements. And the compensations, although sneaky, are going to be elbow bend and definitely rib flare. Some people might even shrug. I'm not opposed to your scapula moving, but I am opposed to it obviously being what's getting you up there instead of being able to get your shoulder up there. So once we figure out where we are, we should start about at end range, maybe 5-10 degrees beyond that. Because stick mobility is so accessible, it allows us to really train both sides of the joint in this specific position. So what we want to do is really just sit back. If you needed to, you could have a pad between your heels and your butt, or we could just have the distance here so that you're not really sitting all the way back if that's too uncomfortable for your ankles. Now that same angle should be represented here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit more of a regression because I know that's what most people are going to need. So here I am, big deep breaths, and I'm just going to work on locking my rib cage in, getting nice and long through my spine, and then I'm going to start driving down with my shoulder. Notice that you can literally see and feel the lat drive down into the ground. So I'm really angling this in this direction so I can get that downward force. I'm going to push down for 10 to 20 seconds, and then as soon as I'm done, keeping my elbow straight, keeping everything locked in, making sure I'm really pushing the ground away with my right hand, I'm going to go ahead and try to lift. Hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down, and then I would go right into my next rep. Do anywhere between 5 to 10 reps, and you could even change the time on that. Just know that you're really hitting both angles by pushing down and pulling up. Another note is to think, I want my shoulder to work in many angles. So I can be here, I can be out to the side, and even though this is for shoulder flexion, if I wanted to get crazy, I could also work on shoulder extension there too. So there's just the stick in the ground, working on really hitting multiple angles, and as I said, challenging both sides of the joint, so that way in the future, you have true mobility and you can use it whenever you want it. If you have any questions about that one, let us know.